The following program is a real estate and mortgage show and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is advised. Good morning and welcome to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony, right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board right now, send us an email. Our email address is yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your hosts of Your Home, Your Money, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony.
Hello, y'all.
Good morning, everyone, on this nice, can I say this, nice Saturday morning. It's pretty nice out.
Why can't you say that?
I don't know.
She was talking some smack before the video. Before we went live.
No, you were saying some really ridiculous things about how the world works with a couple. Like, really. Like, you think that that I should be juggling 50 things and you are juggling one thing.
That's what I think?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what I think.
You said, can you do the show on your own? I'm like, why? What are you going to do? You're trying to get out of everything, and that's when it exploded, when I said he's trying to get out of everything. Because he's the planner. He's the system person. So I was bugging him, and I'm like, and then I said, well, you want me to juggle everything? Because he doesn't do anything at home. Absolutely nothing, not even take garbage out.
I've taken the garbage out before.
You count on, like, can you do this?
I can count.
How many times have you done it?
And what, done the garbage? I haven't kept track. I'm sure it's in the thousands. Well,
are you serious right now?
Yeah.
You are such a liar.
I've taken more garbage out than you.
How many times it's funny because he doesn't know how to use the dishwasher. I think he learned how to use the washer. I think he learned how to use the washer maybe 3 years ago. He's lost.
Sorry to kind of, I guess, jump in here because I should probably stay away. But if you took out the garbage 1,000 of times, and the garbage gets taken out once a week,
Yeah,
that's a lot of years of
that's
garbage.
what I'm
Thank
saying.
you.
Well, it's not just that. My family's very wasteful.
He doesn't put gas in his car. He'll drive it until it's he had a BMW many years ago, and we were in the city, and all of a sudden the car just stopped on the road, and we're like, what the hell? Like, what's going on with the car? When we called a tow truck and everything, when he looked, we had no oil. It was bone dry.
No oil or no gas?
No oil. No oil. He doesn't wash the car. He doesn't take it for any. He doesn't, even when the kids were little, I did everything. Look at him, see? You told me, come on, let's save it for the show that you were going to be the big man.
I realized because I was so ridiculous before that I can't match that now. This is, the truth of the matter is, I think this
He
is
doesn't
very
get
good.
his food. Even if he's here at the office and I'm not, I give him food. We have a fridge here. We have a dishwasher. We have a microwave. He has a pizza oven. He doesn't eat. So the food rots in the fridge because he won't go even warm up the food.
Yeah, but before you go, I have an email came in. It's from Katie. It says, Randy, don't break a nail. Get him, Jackie.
Oh my goodness, Katie, that's the next thing. Thank you for reminding me. He doesn't cut his fingernails. He doesn't cut his toenails. When they get too long, he'll start doing this. Or when we're in bed, he'll take his toenail and he'll scratch my leg. And that's his way of saying that I need to cut his nails. And sometimes I'll just ignore it, and he'll be like, they hurt because it gets so long.
Oh my God.
So, no, I'm not kidding you. This is real. I can't say the word on air, but this is a real. Boop, 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 boop. So now, let's say, come on.
Okay.
You were a big man.
There's a lot to unpack there. First of all, I think many men now out there are realizing, just what marriage is really like.
Oh, is that what you said earlier?
One of the things in your little soliloquy that you did there, you said, a long time ago, he was driving his BMW. So what she does is, since we've been married for 25 years, and then there's 3 or 4 years of dating prior to that, so we're almost looking at 30 years of experience. She calls on one experience out of those 30 years.
You know what? No,
30 years times 365. What is that?
Look at the camera right now.
3,000, around 10,000, I guess.
That's around
Look at that
10,000
camera.
days. 10,000
Look
days
at that camera.
of experience.
How many times have you? No.
finds
How many times
one.
have you put gas in your car?
And many, probably thousands.
Do you know that sometimes we'll be at the pump and he sits in the car and I pump the gas?
That does happen. That does happen. I'll agree.
I'm the only woman out there with their husband sitting in the car pumping gas.
No, I've seen other, and I'm
Have
very
you?
proud of those men.
No, but I want to know how many times. Look at that so they can see your lying face. How many times you've taken your car for an oil change?
Okay.
Check the oil. Added oil.
How many times
put
have you
windshield
opened
washer
the
in
car
it?
door for me? You've never, but I open the car door for you all the time. Huh? How many times have you carried my bags? I carry your bags, right? So, let's put this in perspective.
How many times do you leave stuff at home and I have to bring it to you?
Yeah, that's
Would you do that for me? No, you would complain. What do you mean? How could you leave that? Blah, blah.
30 years, 365 days. So that would be.
How many days have I been in this?
It's around 12,000 days, and I don't even know how many hours. And she's calculated and amassed quite a library of things that have happened, and she just shot them all out right now.
Oh
but
my
I think that's pretty
Is
good.
there a number, Gary, if our friends are watching this, that they can actually call in?
Out of those
and
12,000,
back up my story?
Out of those 12,000 days. I don't know. I think
if anybody is out there in Radio Land and you know us, please email and set this record straight.
Okay,
and just for our listeners, the email is yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. And before you kind of go into your soliloquy, we had one other email that came in earlier, just before we went on, from Howie. Howie says, I just read that 8,153,237 people got married last year. Not to cause any trouble, but shouldn't that be an even number? So.
Oh, unless they're labeling it as couples. One is two people,
I'm a little bit. You're
a little bit. What do we call people like you?
I don't think it's a good idea to get married these days. I think it's
for
better.
you it wouldn't, because these days people treat relationships equally. The man will go to the grocery store. This man doesn't know the cost of food. He doesn't know the cost of hydro. Nothing.
Well, that's not.
How much does it cost to
necessarily
fill
the
your
reason.
car up with gas, Randy?
Huh?
How much does it cost to fill?
It costs $100 and something dollars.
What?
$100 and something.
What?
$100 and something. I don't fill up the car because you know what? I don't need to. My car never runs out of gas.
It's like the laundry, right? The laundry fairy. When the guy tells his wife how, I don't know, but I put clothes here, and in a day it suddenly appears in the basket, folded and everything. There's a laundry fairy, and she looks at him and wants to kick him in the butt.
There was is it the top of the TikTok video or the YouTube Shorts thing?
I think so, yeah. And she's just looking at him like, I'm the laundry fairy, you idiot.
Yeah. When you're talking about the nails, you're not supposed to disclose those kinds of things live on air. Just because my nails grow really fast and that.
No.
This could be something that could give off clues. And you don't want to do that. So we're going to have to let everybody know, and it's going to make the world less safe. I am X-Man. And X-Man.
An X-Man.
I am X-Man. And people are saying, well, there is no X-Man. Yes, there are X-Men, but I am X-Man. And what's happened is part of my personalities have been used to create the X-Men. That's why I'm the X-Man. And my nails go very fast, and that's how the Wolverine was created. And so, with Jackie, it's very important that she keeps my nails trimmed. Otherwise, it could cause great damage in this world. So I use usually these kind of things I say for intergalactic fighting. I don't, when I'm out late at night, she's sleeping comfortable, I'm out saving the world. So, I just thought,
What's that got to do with me if you're saving the world? What are you doing for me?
So just for all our
Keep
listeners
you
out there,
safe.
I do want I promise you this is a real estate show, and we probably will get there soon.
He's keeping me safe. If there was a thump or a bump in the middle of the night and I go, Randy, something going on. He's like, oh, it's nothing. Just go back to sleep. That's how he would protect us.
And I'm probably right. But still gotta get up. And
I know.
that's only...
It's so annoying, right? You hear some random noise. If you hear another noise, okay. If you hear one little noise, it's
Oh my goodness.
Well, the noise was the cat jumped on something and tipped it over. It's usually the same thing every time. But for Chicken Little here, she's like shaking her boots. I gotta go. I said, okay, I've gotta go downstairs, don't I? Yeah, you gotta, because she would just... So I put on my Superman cape.
well, you're getting a little bit of
Hate? Good.
a little bit. From Mike says,
Oh, good. Let's get some
Mike
hate.
says, wow, thousands of times take out the garbage. Where does Randy live? In a dump?
Yeah.
And Ken, Randy, don't be a prissy. Hey, weren't you called a prissy before last week? 2 weeks ago?
The same.
Help Jackie. Is Randy too good for this stuff? Does he need a butler? Is this stuff below him? We love Randy, and this is hilarious.
Okay, so it's not below me. It's not below me. I don't think so. I just like the separation of duties.
Oh no, oh my goodness. We're never going to talk about real estate today, folks. So, if you like that, then from this day on, I'm not working anymore. I'm staying home. Then we separate the duties.
Yep, that's good. Because I don't think you work much anyway. So it's just, it's the same thing, actually.
You don't, well, after people meet Randy, they look at me, and you know what they say? You're a saint.
It's just going to be like a declaration, but you're going to be admitting that you don't work. Can you
Yes.
talk about the open
Yes,
house?
and actually, I'm just gonna, this email came in during the weekend, it was for me, and it says, if you can't find your dog, open the fridge door and he's standing right behind you. So I wanted to read that because there's my dog. My baby Rosie is in the video for this listing that we have in Oshawa. And it is 142 Athabasca.
Athabasca. Athabasca. Come.
I'm a newfie. I don't say everything like, Athabasca. There you go. If you go to 142athabasca.com.
athabasca.com.
Yeah, then you can watch you can get a little view of the new thing we're doing going forward, which is more like a commercial for a home now. And as we go along, we'll get better.
We're like trailerifying our listings. So it's like a...
Oh, yeah. So we've done two. We've done one in the city as well, 40 Monarch Wood. Crescent in the city.
CRES.
And what it is that we're relating our videos now to the
Lifestyles.
home itself.
The lifestyles, the community.
Yeah. So the
neighborhood.
community, the lifestyle of the home, the comfort, the whatever. And with this one here, this community in
Donovan.
Athabasca in the Donovan area in Oshawa is a very dog family oriented community. So with
Yeah.
this, you'll see we got the little girl's coming home from school, and she's coming home alone because it's a safe neighborhood, and she's got her dog, and then she's going to the park with her dog. It's really, actually, it's fun to watch. So
that's one.
Check it out.
But more important than that is it's a 3+3 bedroom. So 3 bedrooms upstairs, 3 bedrooms downstairs. There's 2 kitchens in the place. There's a separate entrance. It's a great multi-generational
Yes.
home. It's been renovated very nicely. It's a beautiful bungalow, so it will support an elderly couple or something of that nature if that's what they want. The elderly couple that wants, no stairs and a great lifestyle, but also may want to have their children and their grandchildren living there with them. And therefore, when the parents go off to work, the kids can be in the care of loved ones. So that's what makes this home very special. It's renovated very nicely. One of the other great features about it, outside of the neighborhood, which we'll get into in a second, is that it can hold 3 to 4 car parking, and it could actually be expanded for even more options. And so that's also a pretty rare thing today with the way homes are. It's on a 50 by 117 foot lot. So it's got a lot of space. So it
has the electrical shed. It has electricity to it at the back, a fair size too.
Yeah,
You
9
guys
by
were laughing
18.
at me, but I said that could be a studio rental, and they giggled and laughed. But
Yeah,
I'm telling
that
you,
is funny. Ha ha ha. And the thing is, Donovan, the community of Donovan in Oshawa, is really one of the hidden gems in Oshawa. One of the reasons is it's a beautiful, quiet community. Very few cars. All the lots are bigger. The homes are more spaced out. And that makes it beautiful. There's a lot of green space. They've got some assets there that are incredible. They've got a great golf course. They've got one of the best restaurants in Oshawa. They've got a dog park oasis there where dogs, off leash can go, and they got water, and they got forests, and they got land to kill. And so it's really amazing experience. And that's one of the things about buying a home like this, is that you're not just buying the home, you're actually buying into the community, and it's really beautiful.
and today we have an open house going on here, so you can come and visit us from 2 to 4. We'll be there. Greeting everybody and showing you aspects of the home and telling you about the area. So if you want to come out and see us, come on out.
Oh, good, bad, yeah.
Before we get into the real estate, or if we do get into that, we have 2 emails. One came from Shane. Shane said, Jackie, if Randy gets up to protect you, what does he do it with? A nail file?
Nail files can be quite dangerous, actually. When I took Kung Fu classes, we used to use nail files to throw at the walls. It's one of the secret weapons that we have.
Is that like your ninja star? But
But it's a nail file. So, I'm glad that you noticed the training that I've had. And
I'm glad you mentioned the nail file, because when I do cut his nails, he'll do this. And if I don't shape them after with a nail file, he's showing me how, look, you didn't cut this.
We have one more from Brenda. Brenda says, more please. Hey, forget the real estate crap. Let's talk about all of you. You're dying laughing here in Washington, D.C. You sound better than these clowns in the White House.
Washington, D.C., that's where the White House is.
Yep.
Ah.
District of Columbia.
Isn't that,
Got
that's,
another one.
yeah, the District of Columbia. Isn't that, Washington, D.C., I saw a video or something where they were asking what the D.C. meant, and nobody knew. Nobody knew the District of Columbia.
What it meant?
They didn't know, and they were trying to, figure out what the DC meant, and they live there. That was interesting. But anyways,
One more last email, and we'll kind of lead into, I guess, one of the articles I was going to talk about. This is from Bunny. Bunny says, "Who? Yes, but who has the money to afford it? You should be promoting container homes."
Yes, actually, I think those container homes, you can make those look amazing. I've seen some really, really cool ones. And even downtown Toronto, there was a couple businesses that used them, toppled over, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the house, sure. You probably, again, if you have enough containers, you could probably make a decent place, but
Yeah.
you still got to put those containers somewhere, right? And just land alone can cost you $500,000
But
plus.
that's why you use it as a garden suite like they're doing in Toronto, I think. And you can sometimes buy those containers like dirt cheap.
I will tell you what the problem is with container homes here in Ontario anyways.
Insulation.
It's to get the permit to be able to
Oh,
make it a home, because here, even though you have a structure that could sit on anything, it can sit on the ground, it can sit on rocks, it can sit on whatever you want it to sit on, it doesn't matter. These things go in trains and they're juggling and moving like that, and they're staying still. They're quite.
I think
well,
it's. I think
no,
you're- I know, I'm sure. I'm not agreeing.
they go on trains.
They go on trains.
And they can't, some of them cantilever over. Like one would be, 20 foot, and then it's got a 40 foot
I
over.
hear you, but there's still engineering behind that. Like, I'm not saying you're necessarily wrong per se, but you can't just throw things on a set of rocks, and because you have to make sure you do
Okay,
the long term.
the point is, if you hear me out before, like you're looking for a reason, and you may have stopped me too early. The point is these things go on trains. You can put them on rocks. Yes, it may slide, it may move. That's all that's going to happen. It's not going to collapse like a house.
Put them on a concrete block like you do a shed.
Whoa, let me finish. Let me finish, girl. So the thing is that these do not collapse in like a house. If it moves, it collapses. That's not what happens with them. So therefore, it should be a pretty simple system. You just put some kind of foundation down, or concrete, or even patio stones, anything like that, you should be fine. But our government, or our municipal governments, don't allow that. You actually have to build a foundation. So you're spending more money building your foundation than it costs you to buy the container and everything. And then it starts to become less affordable.
But when you think about it, you do a concrete like those swim spas, those swim spas, those
they
huge
don't allow
swim
that.
spas. But like, it's not any heavy. It can't be heavier than all the water in that thing.
It's not about size. It's because you've entered into the living bylaw permits. And now what they're doing is they're making you construct the foundation that would typically be for a house.
Yes, which is a bit ridiculous. But at the same time, I agree with what you're saying if it's one container. But a lot of these houses, it's not just one container. It's like they're stacking them up, right? So in that case, yes, it still won't maybe gonna say collapse. But if you have a container on a container, it could.
Okay, so let's think it this way then. Okay, since the train thing didn't work for you and you can't imagine it moving and them still being stable, when they go on the ships, are they building some special foundation? They got those things stacked up really, really high. Then when it comes off the ships, it goes to the shipping yard and they stack them really, really high. We're not having problems there.
But they cantilever them. Is
the
that
thing
what you
is,
call
on the
it?
ships, they're going. My point is, if you're building a house, you might have one like this, you might have one like this.
Yeah.
You can have because they may have different designs, right? So it's not the same where you're just going like that. Where it's just all I'm saying is, I would think you would just if you're gonna go into that type of building, and maybe there's some type of foundation or some kind of thing you can't just if it's just one container, sure, I agree with you. But if you look at some of those videos, they have some intricate designs where you have one this way, you have
That are
one going
pretty
that
cool.
way. I think you do have to kind of just make sure because.
But they're doing it
Okay.
in the States with tiny homes all the time with them.
I'll just
Pretty cool.
respectfully disagree.
So basically you're saying you're wrong, but okay, go ahead.
I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm just going to say I disagree with you because these things are just so incredibly strong that they basically come with their own foundation. And if I wanted to put that on 4 rocks, it would hold better than my house holds. If the rocks moved and it tilted, that's all that would happen. You'd have a tilted home, so you'd have to jack it back up and move it. That's about it. It's not going to break and then the one wall collapse and everybody dies. That's not what's going to happen.
But
These
if it's up, what if it tips over and you're in the house
then it tips over and you're in the house.
and you can get seriously hurt?
Yeah, but you're talking about something that doesn't happen.
What happens if you're in the house and the
and
roof caves in?
your roof caves in or whatever. Like
I feel
you're
the
talking,
same way.
You're
I
talking,
actually agree with him
You're
this
talking
time.
about something that doesn't happen. These things, they like it's really incredible. I remember telling one person saying that you could cantilever it off. He goes, no, you can't, because when it moves, then it's going to fall and then it's going to break. The next time you see a train and you saw it cantilevered off the end, but it's traveling from one side of the world to the other on train, bouncing, bouncing, and there it is, cantilevered.
Stop, quiet. So somebody actually sent us an email, Dave.
That he's building.
Yeah,
he
Dave says,
yeah.
I'm building a container home here in Burlington, Ontario. It is
Oh,
being
wow.
built on a foundation and doesn't move, vibrate, or shake. The land was only 100 grand, or 10 grand, either 110, probably 100. And the home is only costing us 100 grand as well. This is the future, here it is. And again, with this, yes, like I agree with you for like something like
gotta
this.
sound- yeah.
Whereas it's just going straight up, like something like that, I
It's a
agree.
basement.
Pardon?
He's built a basement.
I know,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, even, I was still thinking you probably need a foundation, but I'm saying if a container home looks like this, where it's just, you're going up like a regular kind of thing, yes, but if you're gonna start twisting them and doing some, I just seen some YouTube videos where they do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Dave, this is going to be really nice. We want to see a photo of this when it's finished.
Yeah, it would be nice to see that
Yeah,
when it's
because
finished.
this looks like really cool. And,
So is
and
that
what's
is that
cool,
a garage
And
you've
what's
got underneath
cool
there, or what is it?
is that they use the doors to do like a balcony. The doors that would open at the back. That's
I might
cool.
need to call it, they build one of these for me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's pretty cool how they designed it. Yeah, it's nice because that's
Yeah.
the doors.
But if you can write in again and let us know, is that garage underneath there? What
It
is
looks like this might be a garage
Yeah,
here.
maybe.
or a basement for your wife? Just saying.
Oh, thanks Dave for sending that in, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So question though, Dave, because they asked you, how long did it take you to get permits and stuff to do this? That would be interesting. What the process was to get it moving.
But he built quite the foundation there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one out of the ground, probably 8 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet.
I don't know. It's really it looks like it's gonna be really nice when it's done.
Okay, what buzz you guys got?
I'm kind of got stuff about this affordability stuff, so. one of the articles-
Affordability. That should be quick. Is there anything affordable?
Well, again, before affordability, and about another article talking about interest rates and how that affects it as well. So the first one is saying basically buying a house in Canada has never been harder, and they think it's going to take years to correct. So basically, a report by RBC says that in Canada, housing affordability is at its worst ever as of the Q4 of last year, with a median household needing to spend 63.5% of its income on mortgages for a typical home. This surpasses the peak of the 1990s bubble, where 57% of income was needed, highlighting a significant decline in affordability, and I'm sure we're all seeing that. And a big issue too is kind of where you're at in terms of geographically within Canada has a big impact as well, right? So areas like Vancouver, Toronto, Victoria are the least affordable, with the percentages being 106%, 84.8%, and 80% respectively. Right, so just imagine in Vancouver, the required income is 106% of the average income household. 106%. So all that basically means is most people in Victoria or in Vancouver can't afford it, right? Because they just don't make enough.
Yeah.
Right? In Toronto, 84%. In Victoria, 80%. So it's pretty crazy, right? Even your mortgage payments, they've risen sharply, as we all know, with the price, not the price,
Yeah.
the interest going up over the last year and a half. With the maximum budget shrinking by 22% since Q1 2022, while home prices only fell 1.8%. Yeah, so basically they're saying a slow recovery is expected, and it's basically, for right now, it doesn't seem like it's getting any easier, and even with, I think Brandy probably talk a little bit later with the The market last month went up. It still went up. What I think it was around 20 grand. It went up this month over month, or year over year. Even though we have a lot more listings coming to the market, prices are still going up. Like it seems like we're getting more into a balanced market, but the prices are still trending upwards right now.
Well, based on what you just said.
1%.
Go ahead.
1%.
1%.
Yeah, so upward. See, this is a tough one because
Because of short term?
when you have a 1% year over year fluctuation, that could be due to a high-end home selling. That
Yeah.
could be due to not very many townhouses selling. It may not have any actual reflection of the market. It may just be the permutation of a combination of the variability of the homes that sold. So I don't believe that prices are moving upwards right now. I actually think there's a downward tendency, but we are in the spring market, which is fairly strong compared to other months. But
Strong in what sense, though? Like when you say strong in what
it's
sense?
strong in comparison to what we were facing before, where there was almost no demand for homes. At least homes are selling. So that's what I mean by strong. It's starting to feel more like a normal marketplace, and we're having a decent spring. However, we're meeting with people all the time that would like to get out of their mortgage because their interest rates are stupid, or their payments are stupid, I should
Well,
say.
we met a lady yesterday
and-
exactly in that.
and so we're meeting with people all the time that do this, and they can't sell their home because if they do, they have to write a check.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
You know,
Sell your home, you have to pay.
you have to pay to sell your home, and it's just a really tough scenario out there, and this is going to becoming more and more and more frequent.
And and just based off what you're saying there, I want to throw this in, like with the lady that we met yesterday that wanted to sell her home. And she bought it 2 years ago, but now they want to move to a different country, which she's been wanting to do for a while. But she bought this condo, thought they would keep it for the kids if the kids stayed, but that is not going that route. And she bought it, as far as I'm concerned, she paid too much for it when she bought it 2 years ago. And she had advice. They told her, variable rate is really good, do that. She said, and I couldn't believe it when she said to me, 2 months after she closed the house, her mortgage went up $1,500 a month. 2 months after she closed.
Or it started to rise.
And she wants to sell, and we told her, like, if you sell, you're going to lose money. You can't. Like, unfortunately, you got to hang on to this somehow.
For like 10 years.
And even and then because of the mortgage rate is gone so high, she can't even rent it out and cover the expenses monthly. Like, and her thing was, I went with an agent in my community, and I thought I was protected. And I'm like, well, you just got to be careful. You got to make sure that when you're getting advice, get it from someone who is, on top of everything that's going on, not predict the future, but based on trends, kind of
I hear you, but
navigate.
it's kind of tough because pretty much anybody who bought 2 years ago is kind of, if they want to get out now, is kind of screwed.
Yeah, but she overpaid based on what other things were selling at the same time.
Oh, okay.
She overpaid for it, and that was the sad part. When I went back and looked, I'm like,
A lot of people did.
But,
Yeah.
We were.
true, a lot of people did
but
get caught
is
up
it really
in it.
overpaying if everybody overpaid? It's like,
Well, I think it. Anthony.
I still think it's overpaid.
I think it is overpaying. It's not. None of our customers ran into that problem. Now because we're not. If they're going to buy a house and the house is worth at that time $600,000, but you have to pay $7 to get into it, we're going to tell them don't bother.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to say, I know you like that home, but it's just not worth the money. And that's what we did. So in terms of buyer sales, we didn't do a lot of buyer sales because we couldn't take our customers to that level, because irregardless of what the market's doing, there's still a value on that home. And I don't believe that home prices are going up $100,000 a day. So I believe that the value is still the value. We were still able to navigate the waters and help buyers to buy homes and not overpay for them. We were able to do it, but they had to be a lot more patient with the marketplace, and they had to. So there was a lot of people that got hurt because they got caught up in the FOMO, fear of missing out, and they, and they went crazy. And agents kind of wanted to make their commissions, I guess, and customers paid the price.
Yeah.
But and so in that way, I do agree with Jackie, is that it would have been nice if she
at least knew, and then was able to make a decision based on knowledge of everything.
Did she know she was wanting to move in a few years, or was like?
Well,
she paid basically more than anybody else.
But because she bought the condo thinking that if she was ever going to move and her 2 kids stayed, they would pay for the condo and have a place to live, right? That was really what it was.
So are the kids staying now, but it just cost too much?
Well, she's struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, $1,500 a month extra on your mortgage that you weren't expecting, that's a huge chunk of money.
And if you sell, you got to come up with a check of $50,000 to $100,000.
Yeah, like that's a huge, she put down a huge chunk of money, so she could come out of it even right now, but not really even.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, she could come out where, she could get the mortgage paid off, but she'd come out with nothing.
So the moral of that story is how do you navigate this? The thing is that, before all the other shows that you've listened to us talk and preach, we don't believe in a 1 and a 2 and a 3-year plan. We believe in real estate to have a 10-year plan. You see, the difference between a 10-year plan and a 2, 3, 4, 5-year plan, right now, for those people that had the 2, 3, 4, 5-year plan, they can't weather this. They can't hold it. But if they were able to just have had a 10-year plan, yes, I'm buying this, I'm going to hang out here for 10 years, this is what we're going to do, then guess what? At the end of the 10 years, they paid off for 40% of their home, or 30, 40% of the home. They've got built up equity in the home no matter what. So now they can decide, they're inside the market, they can decide which way to go. But when you're just hoping that the market is going to accelerate at the speed of light and make you capital, that's a bit of a concern. And so that's what we're seeing a lot of right now, is people that have got caught in that game.
Yeah.
And I think that is, as it unfolds and as it gets more prominent and we start seeing more of those listings come out, I think we're going to be driving prices down a bit.
Cool. We had another email came in from Chris. And also, if you want to send us an email, feel free to send it to yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. Any questions, concerns, or just want to ask a question. But we got another email in from Chris. He says, I am building a container home in Kenora, Ontario. The house is being built on a slab only. I paid $115,000 for the land near a creek and a beautiful forest area. The plans for our container home will cost us about $125,000 and will be 1,200 square feet. It comes with a 5-year all-inclusive warranty. There were no issues with the building permits. This is going to take the country by storm. The builder for me is 2 years behind. Love your radio show. Thank you, Chris.
Okay, so he actually hired a builder that did all the preliminary and is doing everything for
him. And the
him.
builder's doing container homes?
I guess so. Well, I don't know, because he says there's a 5-year warranty. There's 2 years behind, but...
Yeah, but was this the same gentleman about container homes?
No.
Okay, so it's a module home, this one.
Then
probably.
I don't know. It says container home. I'm not sure.
Oh, it says container?
It says container home.
Then it's a container home.
Yeah, it would be if that's what he said.
That's good.
Love is in the air. Anyways, I'm looking on YouTube right now, the container home, and
they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I watched the tiny homes a lot. I love it. I watch videos. I think they're so cool.
Especially for tiny people, which
knew you
works
were gonna
really
say
well
that.
with you.
But a lot of complaints that people were talking about was that it's going to be an eyesore. You're looking at these homes; they are not an eyesore.
What's an eyesore? The tiny homes?
The container homes.
No, some of them are
I know,
really
that's
beautiful.
what I'm saying. Like,
but then I can see that it makes sense. Like if you really want to cut costs, that it could be an eyesore, right? You know, you don't have.
Well, I guess either outside or inside. But this one I'm looking on YouTube is beautiful inside.
Yeah.
Even outside looks okay too.
Yeah.
Outside, yeah. It's I don't know, it's something different, but yeah, it's I guess with the cost of houses now and with these homes, I'm sure it's a lot. It's I guess might be a little more because you have to probably get cranes and stuff, but the actual inside of it without having to do all the less framing, I guess. I don't know. Well, I'm sure it might. We're not sure, but I assume it's something that could probably catch on, especially with the cost of materials and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially
and labor.
if they're allowing for the foundation to not have to be a $30,000 to $50,000 foundation.
I think even if they pay $30,000 for the foundation, I don't know. It's compared to like what a home costs. Still, it's still again. We can only go off of what we're hearing from these few listeners. If the last person, Chris said he said a slab, but I think Dave said Dave's had a full foundation. I'm not sure if Dave's doing it himself, but for the prices they're quoting at $100,000, $150,000, even if it was $200,000. The only problem is that the land is still depending on where you live. Like these, I think in the areas they were talking. Well, Burlington isn't too far. Kenora, do you know where Kenora is? Yeah, so I'm not sure where Kenora is, but I know where we are. To buy land itself, you're looking at probably 3-4 just land alone, if not more.
Yeah, and our building costs are so much more than that. You know, we would to build a bottom of the barrel, you know, little thin baseboards and the cheapest windows and the cheapest doors and everything the cheapest. We're still over $200 a square foot to build
again,
here.
Dave, again. We don't know who this person is or how accurate they're saying, but if Burlington is that's Toronto, right? That's just a little bit.
That is,
Toronto.
but he didn't say the size of his home.
He did not.
Right.
Well, again, if this is the actual home we sent, that's a pretty.
That looks like a decent sized home, but we don't know what the size of that is.
Well, there's 8 containers.
And then, are they 40 footers? Or 20 footers?
I can't tell for that picture, but he was still
Okay.
20 by, what were they, they're 20, they're 40 by 10?
I'm not sure the width.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
And what did he pay?
His numbers that he gave are, he says $100,000 for the land and $100,000 for the
container? For 8 containers?
Yes, it's again, we can't justify, or not justify, but confirm.
Verify, yeah, okay. We would have to talk to him, but, because that sounds really good. It sounds like, you know, they have 8 containers for 100,000, but all put welded and everything together. That's another thing is that when they put those up, they weld them together, so they're not falling.
Yeah, I know. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying you can't just.
Are.
No, I'm saying you're just saying just do it. I'm saying you gotta still check the science behind it to make sure it's okay.
I am telling you that it doesn't have to be all that fancy. You could just do it if they would allow you to.
Welding isn't that fancy. We still have to make sure it's done properly.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, fine. That's your opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion, which is more valuable.
But it's just an opinion. That's the saying. My thing is just make sure. You're saying is I know because I've seen it here. I'm saying I don't know.
Right.
But if it is as what you're saying is true, then yes.
But if you don't know, then you really shouldn't argue it.
But you don't
that's
know.
the point.
I know.
Well, I think I do, because here's my next point.
I saw it on the train. The train was.
You're missing what the train does. The train is moving, causing more and more potential problems. These things could fall on the road and fall when you're going over a bridge and land on people.
I'm sure they didn't just one day just throw it on the train.
They just just put them on the. They just place them on the train. They're not tied down.
I understand, but I don't think that this one they just did it. I think they put some research into it and did some.
Okay,
stuff on it.
fine. Yeah, but you're talking about something different now. What I'm saying, the research is over. The things are made now. Okay, and if you want to see them, they're all over the place. If it's not a home, you'll see them. We can go for a walk. There's like 20 of them right over here. Not container homes, containers.
Or just sitting on the ground.
Yeah. So what's the difference if it's a home or if it's sitting on the ground and it's got stuff in
I agree
it?
with you if it's just one container sitting there.
But it's multiple. But the point being is that for that container to go and sit anywhere is okay. But soon as a person, doesn't matter, no. Soon as a person is going to go and live in it, now you have to have a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 foundation. That doesn't make sense to me. That's where I'm lost with this one. So you know what? We're going to put that one aside because Anthony is starting to feel like he lost.
Before you move on, we have another email from Daredevil. He says, "Hi, your team. We just bought some land right in Muskoka on the lake. There are building companies now here in Ontario that just specialize in container homes, and they are all inclusive. All required reports, permits, inspections, etc.
Nice.
My land was $225,000, and we are building a 1,000 square foot container home here. The builders not only put the containers together according to plans, but they do a complete inside as well.
Wow.
These houses look better than some $1 million homes. The builder stated to us that they will be building hundreds of these in the next 20 years. This is the future for affordable homes."
I think so.
Nice.
I agree with him. Like some
I
of
do
them are
too.
like very modern. I think
Did you see his cost?
the
He said quarter
Just
million.
his,
Well, no, that's just
that was his land.
Just the land cost.
The land cost, okay. You didn't see
Yeah.
the container
So
cost?
land cost is just under $250,000.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I love them personally.
Yeah, I really like them too,
yeah.
to be honest with you. So, you know, I want to get into something else. I want to get into something more controversial
Oh boy.
because I don't feel I've been controversial enough during this show. So I need to add something. For those of you who love my sarcasm, please write in and let me know. I'm looking to feel good today. Justin Trudeau, this man has done something really good.
Oh, you're definitely gonna get
Okay.
that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get some nice, good hate mail on this one. But the guy has done something good. It's okay to hate someone, but if they do something good, you got to give them credit for it, right? He is reviving the Landlord and Tenant Board Act, and he's upgrading it. That's given Tenant Board and Landlord and Tenant Board version 8. And in it, landlords are allowed to report the payment history of the tenant.
Credit Bureau.
To the credit bureau. I mean, love or hate the guy, this is a good thing. For those of you out there who are landlords, you guys know. You know that this is a very good thing because there was no recourse. It was all private. We used to have a registry for professional tenants that you could go and look.
Yeah,
they made
years
that.
ago,
Yep,
yeah.
they restricted that because of privacy. They said it's not allowed, whatever. So now tenants are doing cash for keys, and they're just having a field day with landlords. And Justin Trudeau gets out there, and I gotta admit, the video that he did was absolute garbage. And this is the reason why, because he puts out a video and he says, and he's doing this as a great favor for tenants. Okay, imagine that. This is a great thing for tenants because they can use their credit score. They can increase their credit score while they're renting, and they can then use that in order to get a mortgage. And if you know anything about the credit bureau, that you could do that with $100 credit card. You don't need your landlord reporting your credit. to have that kind of effect. So it's really kind of the way in which he's presenting it is very misleading, and he's trying to pretend to tenants like he's doing them a favor. He's not doing any tenants a favor.
Well,
he's
no, the honest tenant is okay.
No, the honest tenant, it's not affecting them either way.
Exactly.
Because the honest tenant, they're doing it, they're making their payments, they're doing their thing, they probably got their credit cards under control, their credit's fine. It's the dishonest tenants now who can get exposed. And that's really what I think is absolutely wonderful. Now, I've seen I follow a whole bunch of realtors and stuff like that, and nobody's excited about it. Why am I the only person excited about it? I think it's amazing, finally, the landlords have something that they can do, and it's not all blind. You get a tenant and you don't know if they're gonna go rogue on you. Well, if they go rogue on you, you destroy their credit, and then any other landlord can see that you screwed over another landlord. Like, this is amazing news. I do feel for tenants and that, but in tenant situation where there's bad landlords, and there's some bad landlords, but it doesn't mean that you can now go and ruin the whole landlord and tenant, all the landlords. You know, most people won't become landlords now because of the legislations the way it is. This is a move in the right direction, and Justin Trudeau deserves credit for it. But I will say, the amount of credit that he will get, will it be enough for him to be voted back in? I don't think so. There's no way. There's just no way. He's done too many things that aren't good, including the way he presented this. You know what? If he was being honest, then he would have presented it as, well, this is it really in favor for landlords, and yes, tenants, I'm sorry about it, but he didn't do it that way. He did it, oh, this is great for tenants, which is just not true. So I can see a lot of tenants kind of hating him for it, and he's supposed to be bringing the love to the tenants to get the votes, but he won't.
I think the tenants have had lots of love over the last few years.
Honestly, like, as I think you're saying, Randy, like for the people who are Jackie, for the people who are doing what they're supposed to do, it won't have an effect on them. But like some tenants, like they're just like, I know. So just to give you a quick story, I might have said this before a while back, but my dad he still rents out some properties, and he had this one tenant who came into him and straight up told him, "I'm not gonna pay for the next 6 months, and there's nothing you can do about it."
What?
Pretty much, yeah. He said more to that nature, or something to that nature. And it happened because like there's literally
true.
There's nothing you can do about it. Like
nothing.
You can send them to the tribunal. They'll go to tribunals and they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, whatever. I'm gonna do this," and you make some agreement. Then they don't do it. It's sent back to tribunal. Maybe they kick them out. But even when they kick them out, they don't have to leave. Like they get a letter saying you have to go. They go back home. If you do anything, if you try to forcibly take them out, if you change the locks, you can basically go to jail. And another story where that kind of happened. But long story short, 6 months happened. We had to go get a sheriff, which is more money out of my dad's pocket. And then yes, at that point the guy's gone, and now he can go somewhere else and
do the same thing because you can't record it anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, now you can because of Justin Trudeau.
You need to make friends with a biker.
Whoa! No, you can't do that. You need to be careful, girl.
On that note, with the whole thing, we got an email from Ari Ari maybe with the subject line "Not Trutard." Randy.
I love those names for him.
Randy, the Trutard government did a good thing, but it wasn't him. Do the research. He's only getting the credit for it. It was the MPs, MPPs, and local councillors. They were fighting for this. Trutard needs votes for next year's election. Also, he is a spokesmouth for this. It is a good thing, but it is not Trutard. So.
Well, I'm glad you have acknowledged that it's a good thing. He's the one that made the announcement, so that's why I give him credit for it. And that's it. I will be honest, it doesn't affect the way in which I would vote. It wouldn't change anything. Trudeau's done so many things that are very offensive to me personally. Especially when he said my views are unacceptable. No, one should ever be able to say your views are unacceptable.
You're right there, Jackie.
She joked, eh?
Holy jeepers,
Out
scared
of
the
body
life
experience
out
right
of me.
there.
Holy.
No, I remember feeling very insulted when he did that with the truckers. I remember that day clear as anything. It's like, holy smokes, is this real? You won't go out and talk to them? Like I'm talking, yelling at the screen. Go talk to them. It's just a talk. Like, what the heck?
When you do that a lot, you talk to yourself on the screen.
You know why I talk to myself?
Because I don't listen?
No, because I like to talk to intelligent people. That's the reason.
I'm going to brush that one off.
Yeah, I guess I'm out of jokes.
6 minutes left.
So here's
4 minutes left.
here's a joke that I heard the other day. I can't say it though
So then what are you wasting time for?
because I want to say it.
Guys, go online and check out 319 Mortimer Avenue.
Mortimer.
Mortimer.
More timer.
Mortimer.
Mortimer? Mortimer. I'm not very good with
But you know what?
pronunciation,
It does. You could say more timer.
It's spelled more timer without the
It
E.
is, but it's Mortimer.
I look at it, that's what it looks like. to
No,
me.
no, I can see
Anyways,
that. Yeah.
this guy bought a house. I'm in the middle of two of them. I could go like this. Bump. So this guy bought a house in there for $1 million, and he built a multiplex in East York. This is a 4-unit condo. That check this out, but it looks like a house. If you look at the photos, if you go online and look at it, it just looks like an ordinary house. But because I guess he got all the permits and everything, and they're self-contained 4 units, he's selling them all separately. One for like 1.2, one for 1.5. They have a condo fee.
Wow.
They all have, they're beautiful units, but it's just crazy that like now you basically can split your house up into different levels and sell it off as condos, I guess, if you can get registered. It's pretty...
So it's 4 separate entrances?
Yes, and they have 4 different outdoor spaces. Everything is, basement unit he's selling for 5 basically. The town, what he's calling a townhouse, he's selling for $1 million. The semi-detached unit, he's selling for 1.6. The garden suite, he's selling for 1.3.
Is this Toronto? Where is this?
Yeah, in East York.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess he must have gotten all these permits. I'm sure it cost him a little bit to be able to do this, but they do have condo fees. The residents that own them will be like the condo managers.
So does he collect the fees then? Is he like the condo corporation after he sells it?
Well, he said the residents will form the condo board and oversee property management, including maintenance, insurance, and fees. So it's basically set up like a condo.
So it's a condo. So are they paying the fees to themselves, and who's?
I guess it goes. I guess
It's
what
like
it goes into a fund, whatever you want to call it, and then when there's issues with
The building or whatever.
the building or
Like, for example,
whatever,
if they
then
need like a new roof, if the money comes
Yeah.
out of there.
Yeah.
I guess it's.
because I would
smart-ish,
think
yeah.
that there's insurance, but then you have to have your own insurance as well.
Well, I guess with
obviously,
those places,
but-
because if you have like a shared roof, you don't want to
Yeah.
have to fight with people. Like the roof
Exactly.
needs fixing, you just take it out of the fund.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
guess that's
Okay, well,
kind of like forced savings. But
that's
yeah.
our time.
Yeah. So thank you, ladies and gents.
You took all the time.
Oh, I did, yeah. I'm such a time hugger.
Thank you, ladies and gents, for being with us again as these two squabble. If you have an email that you want to send us during the week, have any questions, send it to yourmoney101@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you. As always, thanks for being with us. And as always, again, it's been your home, your money, and our lives on realityradio101.com. Have a great weekend.
Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony, right here on Reality Radio 101.